And welcome to the Talon Outdoor Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm JD.
And I'm Fred.
And I'm Grant.
And Paul is noticeably missing today.
Probably
fishing.
Paul is fishing. Fishing with
When
Paul.
all that yellow stuff starts getting all over your car, it's time to be on the pond. It is time. I've been itching.
It was going to rain this
I've
weekend.
been itching from the pollen and the deadgum dogs that I'm allergic to. You know, to be such a big dog person like I am, I'm allergic to dogs.
I didn't know you were allergic to
I take an allergy pill every single day just so I can love on my dogs.
Okay.
The goats don't bother me. The chickens don't bother me. That bastard turkey I got does, but not from the allergies, just from chasing me around the yard. I'm gonna get my wife to videotape me out there trying to feed the chickens one day, and just for y'all's entertainment purposes. I keep having people ask me, "You got to show the turkey."
Well, for a small fee, I'd probably drive to Mariana and make that thing go missing for you.
Yeah.
So I ate those eggs.
Did you?
They were good.
They are good. They're
good eggs.
Fantastic.
As a matter of fact, I got up the next morning and went to the grocery store to get me some sausage patties and some cheese and some biscuit, just so I could have a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with those eggs.
Well, good.
And
I'd have brought some more, but 2 days ago, my wife was in there. She walked out the house with 2 dozen eggs herself, going, "We don't need these, do we?" I'm like, "No, go make somebody happy." There you go.
It'll make them happy.
But
I was certainly happy.
I got all my chicks that I bought from the Greenfriar hatchery here in the Midway area not long ago. Are about ready to go outside now. They've been in the brooder, and I've got eggs that should be hatching before the next show, unless I screwed that up. I've never incubated eggs before, but I'm finding this really weird amount of enjoyment out of these chickens. I don't know what it is about them. It's just relaxing to me to hang out with the chickens. And
I know why.
And the goats.
I know why.
Why is that?
Because
that was awesome. That made my day right there. Wasn't feeling so good. Now I'm feeling better. Oh no, go on.
I don't know if I can top that.
That just off the top of my head too. That was not planned, folks. It just came to me all of a sudden.
Oh, what is this stuff? Is in Fred? I walked
Fred
in here and he's got an
props.
inflated whoopee cushion in my chair, like where I can obviously see it. So
Well, I thought there were a cushion on the chair that I could put it under, but it wasn't there. So I was just thinking maybe you'd miss it. I don't know.
I can make that sound for you if you want me to. That's it,
I was hoping he'd sit on it, but I guess I need to get one of those electronic ones like.
Yep. Plant it under the seat and hit the button.
We had years ago Judge Don Modisette. He's passed on now, but Don Modisette was, as a judge, was not somebody you wanted to get on his bad side.
He was stern.
Very stern. And if you showed up, looking like one of his favorite things to do was go after these college kids that showed up in court, in flip-flops and
looking like they just rolled out of bed.
Did he wear costumes at Halloween in his courtroom?
Not in his courtroom.
Yeah.
And he would just let them have it. And usually they left in handcuffs most of the time. And Cliff Davis, who was a federal prosecutor with Don Modisette when he was a federal prosecutor. Cliff Davis now was a defense lawyer. He's passed away as well. Cliff Davis was an old country lawyer that out of Monticello. And he'd come in out of the cow pasture into the courtroom. That's where he practiced law. And one day he got him an electronic fart machine, and he stuck that thing up under Modisette's chair on the bench before he came in the courtroom. And Cliff sat back there showed no reaction whatsoever. Modisette sat down and he pressed that button. I saw Modisette's face turn redder than this whoopee cushion. And he said,
wasn't me.
He's looking at me, and I'm like, don't look at me. And he got off the bench and he said, I'm coming back. That thing isn't gone. Every lawyer in this courtroom going to jail.
So who went and grabbed it?
All of y'all.
I left the courtroom for the recess, so I don't know. So I didn't want to be a witness to any of it.
There was a clerk in there that has something on somebody.
Somebody.
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's.
What is it about guys when gags? I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, a lot of women. My wife doesn't find a lot of my practical jokes and stuff like that funny, and I just will get completely cracked up about something, and she just looks at me like I have, like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I can't help it. I'm a guy. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, they don't understand that.
I think it's part of our fatherly duties is to pass along that sense of humor to our
He said
sons.
duty.
Did you see the pictures of the kids that Beavis and Butthead were based on? The real kids
No.
they were based on?
No.
Oh my Lord! If you're watching this on the YouTube thing, this is the kids.
Look at them foreheads on that boy's got a four-noggin. Both of them.
Apparently, these kids really, really exist.
They do.
Either that's a heck of an
real.
AI image, and that's not AI.
That looks
right
like
there.
that looks like an old photograph.
1970s or 60s, 70s, 80s was got to be
That makes Peyton Manning's head look small.
That was and the story is that it was based on a real set of kids, brothers, whatever. They look like brothers, but and the whole I read this.
Oh, they got to be brothers.
Yeah, there's
They either brothers
they don't
or
look like there's a whole lot
they either brothers or somebody's daddy was getting around in the neighborhood, one or the other.
That or something jumped the fence, but yeah, I ain't.
And if their daddy looked anything like that, I'm
I
surprised
ain't
he
sure
found
there's
two
a whole lot of
different women.
I ain't real sure there's a whole lot of branches on the
No,
family
I think-
tree. I ain't no limbs on
Boy,
that
don't
tree.
you talk back to your mama sister like that.
What's that song? I'm my own grandpa.
I'm my own grandpa.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
they from
But
Alabama. Alabama. No, I better
I'll
not
put
say
that on the YouTube thing. But if you could probably find it out there in the Google machine somehow or another. You can Google around and find it. But I saw that and I was like, I had to save it to the phone because I figured you'd believe it if I didn't show you the dadgum picture.
There's a Saturday Night Live skit, a recent.
Yeah,
With-
they had them made up to look like I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the audience. That was funny.
That was
Some of the
one of the
the
rare-
comedians cracked up.
yeah.
I've been going back and watching some old excerpts from bloopers from I don't say bloopers. They're just the Carol Burnett show.
Oh yeah.
And when her and Harvey Korman and Tim Conway would all get in there and they would get so cracked up they couldn't finish the
Well, the one the
elephant
Yeah, the elephant's
with
the
the
best
trunks.
one. So Siamese elephants.
Yeah.
You
So
can't.
where'd you find this, Fred?
I was
Something
over
right up
in
my alley.
Yeah, I was over in a store. That's hole in one weekend.
I got you.
And
Delightfully useless trivia.
Yeah, so there's apparently it is. I got one of the cards out. So I got them just in case we run out of stuff to talk about because this is important stuff. Like here's a question. When polled, only 80% of Americans say they wash their hands after using the restroom. What does 30% of the 80% do? And here's your choices. A, open doors with paper towels. B, use pants to dry hands. Or C, wash their elbows. Or D, use soap.
Wipe their hands on their pants would be my guess on that one.
Charlie?
I don't understand the question. So you said
That's-
80%?
30% of the 80% that wash their hands.
So 80% of people do wash their hands.
80%.
And what 30% of those people do?
Correct.
Wipe their hands off on their pants.
I agree with JD.
Use soap.
Okay.
So only 30% of the people,
Washing their hands.
of the 80% of the people washing their hands in the bathroom use soap. Now, I got stuck
It
last
directly
week.
depends on whether there's soap in the bathroom or not.
Well, I got stuck last week at the Golden Corral buffet bathroom for an hour because there was a sign on the door said employees must wash hands, and I had to wait for an hour for one of them to get in there.
You ain't right.
He thought I was a little strange when I asked him to, and sign said it.
We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Before I forget, because I'm really bad about forgetting.
All right, don't forget.
Lest I forget, happy birthday to my wife.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Donna.
She is blankety blank years old. And
27.
Okay, I'm sure she'll go with that.
I thought she's 28 this year.
Well, I'd have to figure out because I know how old I am.
Stop, Charlie,
I know
before you
how
get in
old-
trouble. Just stop doing that math. You'll let the number out.
Well, I know precisely what year and date she was born on because it took me the better part of the first half of our relationship to learn it. I used to have to run her driver's license to figure out what her birthday was. That was before I had a calendar on my phone, and now it's on there. It's a reminder. But and then I found out you wasn't supposed to do that. There's some thing in the system you're not supposed to just run people for the heck of it.
Did you get her a nice present?
But once I was educated in that, I decided not to do it no more. But what's that?
Did you get her a nice present?
I took her last night. I took her to the Salt Block in Marianna. That's what she wanted for her birthday. Was to go to. We have been in Marianna for 3 years now, and that is the 2018 National something Grand Champion Chef winner that runs that restaurant. You have to have reservations to get in there, especially on Friday and Saturday.
A restaurant that takes reservations in Marianna?
And if you don't have a reservation on
You don't
Friday and
get in
Saturday,
there.
you don't get in because they fill up.
Wow.
And it's right there across from the courthouse. And I went in there and met Nick. I think it's Nick. The chef came out because wanted to see how my tomahawk steak was cooked and if it was cooked well and it was rare like I asked for it. And I said, well, I had heard it takes a while to get, over the years I've heard one of the things people say, well, it takes a while to get. He goes, well, to prepare food correctly, yes, it sometimes does. However, you ordered your tomahawk steak rare, and that doesn't take that long. And he goes, people
Knock
come in
his
here.
horns off,
See,
wipe
somebody
his
comes in and
nasty-
orders a medium well tomahawk, 44-ounce tomahawk steak.
You
and
ate
it
a
takes-
44-ounce
It
steak?
takes a minute.
Well, they weigh the
I mean,
bone.
I ate most of it. There's a lot of bone in there, but it was the
There's no way
crust
I could
on
eat
that
that
steak
much.
was really good. Donna got a 16-ounce ribeye, and normally if she gets full, she'll quit eating. But she goes, "I'm eating this whole thing." I mean, you know what? It was good. The vegetables were really good. Even the mashed potatoes had the right texture, had a really good taste to it. Normally, I see mashed potatoes, and I can't tell mashed potatoes from the dadgum envelope pack in the bottom of the cabinet at the house. You pour water in, throw it in the microwave, or real potatoes. It's all about the same to me. But these actually were good. I was very impressed, and it was a good experience. And my wife loved it. I don't know why they offer you dessert in places like that. I mean, they ought to walk.
Ain't got nowhere to put it.
But she said, I suppose you don't have room for dessert. And I'm like, I suppose you're right, because my belly's swole.
My wife got upset at me last time we went to a restaurant they had reservations.
Mm-hmm.
Got up there and the host said, "Do you have reservations?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're going to eat here anyway."
I got really bad news this morning.
What?
My wife sent me a picture of flight reservations for July. They are making me go to New York City
Ooh.
with my wife and my children. She offered to take the kids up there, the girls up there, because the girls have been just pestering the living mess out of us to go to New York
When you going?
in July.
Like for the 4th or just?
No, after
That's
the
why the flight reservations they said are in July. That's when it's
yeah,
going.
I don't know. After
hear
the
that
4th,
part.
it's like the 9th or something.
Oh,
But
well,
anyway,
I got that part.
can you imagine me in New York City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent about 9 months in New York City.
What?
I know you did, and that's I just
And
Man,
I learned a lot. And that's why I ain't been back.
well I'm all about being a good dad, and I'm not going to let my wife and kid go to New York without me because I don't feel safe. I'm not going to feel safe there. It's going to be I just got a feeling I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to try to have an open mind.
Nah,
and
I
be a
mean,
good
there's
idea.
some places you can go. I've been there a couple of times, and you catch a Broadway show. That's fun to watch.
Well, my daughter that's into theater and singing and all that stuff, she wants to go to do that, and that's fine. And I get them wanting to go. They see it on TV and all that, but I just have avoided going there for the 57 years that I've been alive.
there are
and,
some good restaurants up there. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I don't doubt any of that. Everybody's like, "Oh, you need to go to New York."
Go to the Trump Plaza.
Yeah, I just wonder about carrying a gun up there. So
Well,
Just
I mean-
don't even take one.
That's kind of what's in my head because
I just
I don't
wouldn't- I
want to
would-
go to jail over it. But
if you're going bow down and go to New York City, just go on and just play by the rules. Leave the gun at the house. Don't get no arguments with the TSA folks, which apparently they're fixing to fire about half of them. And
I
just
got a
go
list.
on and do.
I got
do
a
what
list
you
they
gotta
can
do.
start with.
No. I had a client up there this year that
I know. Your
uh,
client's a friend of mine. I know this. I know the story, and that's just. So yeah, just
and not a good.
environment there
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Just don't. And I will tell you from my experience up there when I worked there before I was in law enforcement, and I like to have got in some serious trouble because of a gun. Didn't know that in New Jersey you couldn't have, well, I knew because I'd read it in NRA magazine and it wasn't supposed to have hollow point rounds. I didn't think about it. I had some old dude that was with us had done something stupid and they come looking for him, and this is before I was in law enforcement. And they came in and searched my room without being invited in and without probable cause, and went through a nightstand, and I had left a box of silver tips in there, which were hollow point. And the old detective there said, "What are these cop killer bullets doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't reckon they ain't cop killer bullets unless you shoot a cop with them, Marley." And that wasn't what he wanted to hear. And
Imagine that.
I said, "Well, I brought them from Florida." He goes, "Where'd you get them?" I said, "Got them at Walmart." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, we can do that down there." Now I'm literally 20 years old, so he said, or 21. I think I was 20. No, I was 21 or 22 at the time. And he says, "Well, what are we going to do about this?" And I said, "I don't see them. In my mind, they don't exist. And who are you looking for again? Because I might be able to help you find him." And so that old box of rounds just slipped in his front pocket.
I guarantee he
And-
pulled his back then. That's when NYPD was carrying 158 grain lead round nose bullets, aka in the gun world known as bouncing betties, because they ricocheted so bad and they would just.
Well,
I guarantee he dropped them bouncing betties out of his revolver and probably put those silver tips in there.
well, when I explained now they were 9mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 9mm. I had a semi-automatic Smith & Wesson 59 of something or another,
6.
and which was in my truck in the parking lot.
You didn't ask about that.
Oh, where's the gun? And I'm like, I took it home to Florida, and I said, "Oh yeah, I left it at the house. I lied," and because you can do that, by the way.
Well, lie to the police.
Yeah,
You
lie to
can.
the police.
Can't lie to the
They can lie,
FBI.
the police can lie to you,
They can, and they do.
and it kept me out of jail. I said, I took that thing home. So the bullets disappeared into his pocket. I did not receive a property receipt for that, mind you.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
And about 15 minutes later, they knew where the guy was that they were looking for.
They
He
found
was
him?
down. I said he went down to the McDonald's to eat, and he goes, "The where?" And I said, "The McDonald's."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, okay."
Not the
And,
McDonald's.
I said, "I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I ain't from around here," but it was wintertime, and I hear I didn't hang out with the other guys because they were bad about going down there smoking weed and doing all that, and I didn't get into that. I was a clean, wholesome young man that I liked guns. I was my only vice at the time, so. Daybreak, I hear thump, 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 thump on the door of the hotel room, and my buddy who I was staying there with from Bonifay had gone home for a week, and I had just come back after being home for a week. And so this other guy was staying in his bed to save money, and so I opened the door, and it's like 2 degrees or something out there, and you got this detective that's about my size but about a half a size wider, wearing like one of those big coats, and he's wearing a tie and a white shirt and all that. And behind him was a mountain of a man. He looked like the guy on Game of Thrones,
The mountain.
yeah, and he's standing back there, and I'm like, "Can I help y'all?" And they go, "We're looking for so and so." And I said, "Well, hang on, I'm in my underwear. Let me go in here and put some clothes on." And I pushed the door shut. Well, I turned around to go put some clothes on. They just walked in and came with me, and I'm like, he ain't in here. I thought he was right there. And that was when all the rest of that stuff ensued. So it wasn't long after that I quit. I left New York City and was driving because we were living in Jersey City, Hoboken, and cheap hotels. And then
What
we
were
were
you
going
doing
into
up
town,
there?
working for the phone company, installing power equipment for New York Telephone under contract with the subcontractor. I was in the wire. I was one step away from being a supervisor at 22. And
So you were the guy that
and I
the
quit
Dire
about.
Straits,
I was
wrote the song about. We
who?
got to install these microwave ovens.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
you were that guy.
Custom kitchen delivery.
Well, I mean, I had it out with some of the locals up there. We were not part of their union shop, so we had trouble sometimes getting in the building. One of our guys dropped a tool, an uninsulated tool, into a power bay and short-circuited like about 10 city blocks worth of telephones. And there was an ensuing lawsuit, and then they wanted us to stay up there for free and wait for the depositions and all, and for them to gather all their stuff. And I'm like, I'm going home. Well, that's not very loyal. I said, listen, I was working at a job site in Pensacola, and then you sent me down to Miami, and I was in Tallahassee for a while, and then you sent me to New York City. I ain't loyal to anybody that sends me up here. But it was an interesting time. I didn't know people like that existed until I came back home, got into law enforcement, and came to Tallahassee and found out they're on our streets too. We have the same issues. They just, and a lot of the people you run into on the streets in Tallahassee are also the same people you run into on the streets in New York City.
Sure.
Because they get around. They're very, transient in nature.
Migratory. Migratory.
They migrate and move around, and but you know what? They had some good food up there. So
They did have some good food.
You go into some of the local sandwich shops and things like that. I mean, it's worth doing. I mean, I'd go. I just
They got some good shopping and stuff like that for men's stuff up there.
there's certain hours and certain places you don't want to go. Don't go on the subway late at night, things like that. You'd be all right.
I don't
other than
expect
that.
I'm going to go on the subway, period.
It's interesting.
I wouldn't. Not these days.
The smells are
The
stick
smell
with you.
will drive you crazy. I mean, yeah, that,
We'll be right back.
it's yeah.
And we're back. So if you come to our range in Dothan and you're out there shooting, having a good time, and you just see some targets set up on another range, particularly on Saturday, those are not for you. Don't go over there and shoot those targets with a rifle when they're pistol grade steel. I mean, and ding our stuff up and break our stuff. I mean, it's just one of those things where that's just poor form. That's you go.
Same with
that's right.
Tallahassee. If we have steel targets that stay set up here all the time, and it's just follow the rules, please.
So we said, and
So
we
hold
have
on.
these. We have in Dothan. We have competitions every weekend, and the guys will come out on Saturday, and they'll go down on the competition bays, and they will set up the steel, set up the target, set up the barricade. So when they roll in on Sunday for the competition, they can just everybody show up. They go out, they shoot their stuff, and they break it down later on, either that afternoon or Monday or whenever it's convenient for them. But those aren't bays that we typically let people go shoot on any other day. We find stuff. And so, the weekend, somebody just goes down there and takes a rifle out and starts shooting. Didn't even hit it in the center, mind you. Was way off on the edges. So I don't know what they were thinking. It wasn't handguns. They had to have shot it with a rifle and caused a little bit of an uproar with our competition guys because they take pride in maintaining our equipment. And so just don't do stupid stuff like that. I mean, I have gone over there and put up some surveillance cameras now. So do it again. And we're not going to arrest you or nothing, but we will certainly
Send you the bill.
we will invoice you, and you can either pay or never come back again. That's
Or you
just
can pay late
silliness.
and then pay lawyers' fees.
Yeah, well, there's don't think that we don't pay attention because we do. So now down that area we had a place where we didn't have any cameras. Now we got cameras. So
You got
thank
cameras
you for
here.
that. We have cameras pretty much everywhere. I mean, that we can put cameras, and it's just and it's to keep people honest. I mean, it's like going to somebody's house and doing something stupid. I just fess up to it. Go, hey man, I went down there to so and so. What I owe you, and then we'll go. Okay, we'll forgive you. We'll order another piece of steel. It might be $100 or something. It's not that big a deal, but just ask. All you have to do is ask. Just ask. We'll tell you. We're not gonna get mad at you because you asked a silly question. because you don't know. You can't look at a steel target and tell if that's a rifle-graded piece of steel or pistol. We tell you don't shoot. If you want to shoot steel, you go to the rifle range and you shoot it with a rifle.
Do you have any steel target, rifle target?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you
On
had
the
that.
rifle ranges.
Yeah.
If there's a steel, if it's on a rifle range and it's steel, you can
Help
shoot it with a
yourself.
rifle. If it is on a handgun bay and it is steel, that is handgun pistol rounds only. And they're
I
designated
didn't even
that.
know you had steel targets here.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we do.
I always get the targets and just stick them on the little plywood thing that got shot
Oh,
up.
we've got 3 steel bays in Tallahassee, 4 steel bays in Dothan, and head plate racks, silhouettes, hostage swinging head plates on behind a hostage. We've got dueling trees. On the rifle ranges, we have steel at 400 yards, 300, 200, 100. You know how that works, and even at 50. And so, shooting steel is very valuable. And I talk about this on some of the stuff that airs in Dothan, is because with when you paint a steel target white and you shoot it, you immediately get that visual feedback with that gray dot and that ding, and it tells you that you did right, and you don't have to squint.
And audible feedback.
Yeah.
Visual. Positive
Visual.
instant recognition. PIR.
What does that do for you?
It reinforces good habits.
Hey,
And your brain recognizes that what you just did was right, and it makes it more likely that you're going to repeat that same action.
kind of like potty training.
It's exactly like breaking a clay with on shooting
Okay.
skeet or shooting birds or whatever. If you do it right, your brain kind of takes a memory of that and stores it away, and you know exactly what it looks like and where your lead was and all that stuff. And if you do it right enough times, it becomes easy. That's how you get better at shooting
Never
clay
thought
targets.
of it that way.
Yeah.
So shoot steel and go get some white spray paint from the counter, and then go spray paint your targets white. So you not only get the audible, you also get the visual feedback. I mean, it's just how to get better. We'll be right back. And we're back.
So I'm coming into the modern era with my. I ordered some lithium ion batteries for my
Lithium ion,
trolling
yeah.
motor for my trolling motor on my boat. I'm gonna give them a try. They finally come down out of the stratosphere in cost, and I got looking at about time to replace my trolling motor batteries on my boat. They're
So what is this battery going to do for you? Is it-
well, it's they are roughly half as heavy
okay.
as lead acid batteries, so they're much lighter.
Okay.
And they're the same amp hour power. There's about 100 amp batteries and amp hour batteries, and so about the same as the lead acid batteries. They weigh half as much, and there's a lot of characteristics as far as charging and discharging them that are much better than lead acid batteries. Yeah, I had to buy a new battery charger because the onboard battery charger that I just plug in when I get home from fishing, got to switch it out to the one that's made for charging lithium batteries. But it's supposed to be remarkably better than the lead acid. I'll give them a try and we'll report
It's supposed
back.
to last longer? Or?
Yeah. So a regular lead acid battery, deep cycle battery on a trolling motor, you get somewhere between 400 and 800 charges potentially. I've seen them go bad in a lot less than that, and I've seen them last longer than that. But these are like rated for 15,000 cycles
Wow.
of charging and discharging.
And that's what a lot of golf carts now, electric golf
Going to
carts, are
lithium?
going to
Going to
that.
lithium.
You can actually upgrade from your standard lead acid stuff to these, and instead of having all these different batteries in there, you put one big battery in there, I think.
Yep, one big 48 volt or
yeah.
whatever bolt.
And-
They make all different voltages and amp hour.
That's why I went to a gas golf cart. I mean, it's
Yeah, well, they got their own set of problems too.
Well, 'cause
In all honesty, gas-
carburetors and all
Yeah.
kinds of issues.
Yeah,
for
we've
those.
tried both here and had very little success with either one of them that we've tried to
And
use.
they don't have the torque and the horsepower typically that the electric stuff
Electric ones
does.
do.
Electric golf carts, especially 48 or anything bigger than a 48 volt. The old 36 volt golf carts they're okay, but when we went to 48 volts, I mean they'll snatch you back in the seat. And then now they've got all the way up to 72s, different things that I mean they're crazy. I'm like little electric cars that'll just haul butt. But gas is convenient because all you have to do is put gas in it. So if it were out on like a farm or something, and you kept it under the barn on a hunting lease, then gas is pretty cool. Although you can't sneak up on stuff quite as easy as you can on electric.
Mm-hmm.
But the electric, because of the cost to replace the batteries, about every 3-4 years, you're putting a whole brand new set of batteries in an electric golf cart. But with the lithium iron, you don't have to worry about that quite so much. So it's come a long
when they
way.
first came out, when the lithium batteries for RV marine applications first came out, they were, and there's still some brands that are just ridiculously expensive. Like these batteries, when I first started looking at changing over to that, a lead acid battery, a good lead acid battery would cost you a couple $100. A deep cycle battery, I'm talking about. The lithium ones were like $600 or $700.
What are they now?
I bought 2 of them for just under $200, so just over $100 a battery.
Each? Or for 2?
For 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's
I mean,
good.
for 50,000 cycles.
24 volt. I have a 24 volt trolling motor. So,
Right.
but yeah, and they say they discharge differently, so the motor runs a lot longer on a charge.
What I've noticed is when it's time for them to quit working, they quit
immediately.
working.
Yeah, you don't
It's
get a
not
slow
like,
down.
hey, this thing's slowing down. It just goes, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. It goes from working to not working, and
that's happened to me out on the Gulf, where I got my batteries running all my bottom machine, my GPS, the live well, the whatever else is going on, and next thing you know, you can't crank up the motor, and that's not a good feeling.
No.
You can't push start it.
No.
Get out and swim, kick real hard.
You can if you man enough. How big a motor you got on your boat?
There's 2 of them, and both of them 150s, and
Okay, if you man enough, you can. They still
Twirl it with
put
your finger.
they still put a little wrapped up little pull cord in the cowling that you take it off and you can
I
wrap it
don't
around
know
the
that-
flywheel and pull it.
yeah, these are 4-stroke Verados. I don't think they have.
No, probably not. Probably not. You had to be a heck of a man to pull start
Yeah,
that.
I don't
But I
think
remember the old small, the old 2-strokes. I've had to crank a 2-stroke like that way before, but where you wrap the rope
Yeah,
around the
yeah,
top of
dude,
the flywheel and
yeah.
pull it, and then you got to try to get the cowling back on there with that thing spinning.
Yeah.
We got a little 4-wheeler, and it's got electric start,
Fred-
and it's got the little pull cord on
Fred's
it.
got Verado Mercury motors. You can't hide money. You just can't hide money. Those are supercharged, aren't they?
Yeah, they fuel injected, supercharged, and then
Superchargers on outboard motors.
it'll
They're
get up and
making
go.
Honda. I think just came out with a single engine 300 horsepower V8 outboard.
I think I saw.
You're not putting that on a canoe.
I saw like a
does-
500 the other day that somebody had come out with.
Yeah, they're putting basically Honda V8 racing
Yes.
race car motors as outboards now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, this is my first. This boat is the first boat I've ever had with a 4-stroke on it. I've got a 150 SHO Yamaha,
Okay.
and
It makes a difference.
they are so quiet and so fuel efficient, and it's just I'm used to cranking up the outboard and getting that blue smoke
Oh, yeah.
smell from the 2-stroke oil and all that, and now you reach in there and touch the key on this thing,
You'll forget it's on. If you're at idle, you'll forget it's
they're
on.
running.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the technology's come a long way on boating and outboard stuff. I'm not gonna do the cranking battery in lithium just yet. I wanna.
That's what I was thinking about. Because see,
So
all
what
my
you
electronics
should
run off the cranking battery.
hypothetically, what you should do is, because these things are 28 pounds as opposed to 56 pounds,
Sure.
is get you a deep cycle just to run a high amp hour deep cycle battery just to run your electronics and just rewire it so you're not interfering. You've got 2 separate systems. One's to get you home and one's to get you all your electronics and stuff. To get you.
Yeah. Well, it's got to get some work done on it. I just pulled it out of the storage. I got it home. right
Yeah, I'm
now.
gonna be if the
Washing
weather will be nice this weekend, I'm probably gonna be getting mine all cleaned up and ready to go because I'm itching.
Trying to do that. Trying to plant the garden. Everything's sprouted now. So it's coming up.
Cool.
Got my beans. I had to go ahead and pot my beans.
Yeah.
Take them out of the little seed pack, because
Mm-hmm.
they came out of the. I do like a 4-step process to get them in the ground. Make sure they're going to be
Pole beans.
pole beans.
Yeah, I love them things.
I heard planting, garden, and pot all in one conversation.
Well,
so
we're doing that too. That's for the It's for
Medicinal.
It's for the oldest child.
Medicinal use only.
And the grandkids, you know.
It's about pot your beans. I'm like, what? Is that a genetically modified green bean or something? I said, well, this one, you can smoke this one.
So centipede does Sinsemilla blend. You play 18 holes on it and get stoned to the bejesus later. Remember that from Caddyshack?
All I can see is that groundhog doing that dance.
That was a great movie.
So I'm gonna put some grapes in this year. I'm gonna
Did you?
see about you ever done that? Growing grapes?
Yeah.
Grapes?
Oh yeah. Scuppernons or Bullises? Which one you
these
doing?
are actually like
No, don't mess with
Like real grapes? Like,
yeah, real grapes.
yeah,
We can have a
that's not
winery
real
and get
grape.
some of them.
No, you need some
women
get
that
you
walk around in the
Scuppernons and make
barrels
you
and
scupping on wine.
make you.
On my Caddyshack, I saw they got this show on I don't know, TikTok, YouTube or something, where a guy sits around with these celebrities and they eat chicken wings.
the hot wing
Yeah,
contest
hot something
challenge.
or another. And it's interesting. You see some of these movie stars and celebrities that sit in there, and it's amazing what some of them. Bill Murray got on there and he ate everything they had, and it was like, and the hottest one was like, yeah, that kind of gets to the back of your throat a little bit, yeah. And that was it. And he's going, yeah, that one's good. That one reminds me of something changed. And he's going through it. I'm going, holy cow.
He's dead
He's
inside.
got nothing. He's got nothing left.
Nothing left. No, all the nerve endings are just roasted.
Oh man.
That is a funny human right there. That Joker is just he can do what do you call it?
The one, what was the one? What About Bob? Or was that the name of the movie?
I don't
Had Richard Dreyfuss in us. And he
maybe
kept showing up and interfering with a family vacation. And
I don't know, but that dude is one of those guys that has just lived life his way and just doesn't care. I mean, whatever. Just I'll show up, do what I want because I can.
nothing wrong with that.
And I'll be right back. And we're back.
Yeah.
So, we got Paul.
Got Paul on the phone. He's not going to be in here with us peasants. He's out on the water fishing today.
Guys, it is absolutely beautiful out here.
Yeah.
But there's no wind. Bear is just getting a little bit of ripple. Bite's been kind of slow this morning, but in the last few minutes we started getting some bites, and it's starting to pick up. But, man, I tell you, it's beautiful out here today.
What you fishing for?
We fished for bass today. The biggest one we caught has probably been about 3 pounds, but that wind's supposed to shift to the south-southwest, and I've got a feeling they're going to start biting, turning on here pretty good. But I got Mr. Joe Paletti and Mr. What was your name again, sir? Kurt Thomas from Valdosta, Georgia. They're down here today with us.
All right. What part of the lake are y'all fishing on?
We are in Spring Creek. The Flint is muddy, real muddy. So we come over here, the water's still clear. It's got just a little bit of a stain to it, but a lot of the fish are kind of still around the spawning areas. Still, the crappie are still bedding, JD.
Yeah.
We're seeing some of them bedding. And I'm actually starting to see shell crackers starting to bunch up. I haven't found any on the bed yet, but it's not going to be that much longer.
Yeah,
It might show up early this year.
I've had the shell cracker conversation with 2 or 3 people this week, and I think everybody's waiting on it to happen. I think everybody's getting excited about it. I was talking about all the pollen. You can always, when all this pollen starts falling, you can bet it's about to be time to be on the water trying to catch fish.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, I went across a little area the other day and probably saw 50 or 60 in a little group. No, not on the bed, just kind of hanging out, thinking about making a bed, I think. But, man, it's going to be good because the bass fish has been really good. The crappie fishing has been exceptional. We fished a place today that I think in between this moon, where some crappie have been bedding, I think there'll be more coming in towards the end of the week. But it's been good. Beautiful day out here today. Just finally now getting some breeze. It's been dead still, dead calm.
What are y'all fishing with? What are you catching them on?
Right now we're fishing with plastic worms, fishing Senkos, and fishing extraordinarily slow.
Okay.
Almost like watching paint dry.
Yeah. Well, I understand, and you know my thoughts on that, but
Yeah, I know it. I know.
But
I'd rather be up throwing a buzz bait or a crankbait or ripping a rattle trap or chattering a chatterbait. But my gosh, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
you got to do what you got to do to catch fish. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, we gonna let you go. I know you're busy. You got to actually work instead of goofing off with us. But we appreciate it. Tell folks, give us a number so they can get a hold of you to go fishing.
I will. Just let y'all know, I will be up on Lake Eufaula next week when we do the show. So y'all call in. I'm gonna be in the tournament. I'll take the time to maybe bring us good luck to catch a big one on the show. But get ready to get up with me. My number is 850-264-7534. Or you can reach me on Facebook or Instagram at Captain, C-A-P-T, Paul Tyre Fishing.
All right, buddy. Well, y'all get after him. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Be careful.
These guys told me they was going to have a 5-pounder big one when you don't, but I'm sorry it didn't work out. So we're going to drift back up here where the fish are.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
All
Bye.
right, buddy. Y'all have a great week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, the things I hear being hard of hearing, sometimes, I won't be paying half attention to something, and then I'll hear a word and it will get my attention. Captain Paul's talking about, what's up, son? And the bass fishing is exceptional. Well, what I heard was the bass fishing is sexual. And I was like, what kind of cruise is he on today? And I, for just that split second, my brain goes, what? And
there's something bad wrong with you.
I'm like, well, I'll be in public listening to people talk, or somebody will wait on a table and come up to me and say something, and I'll go, what?
What he say? What he say?
And it's got so bad now. I look at my wife and I go, I have no idea what that woman just said to me. Can you please tell me? I say, this is what. Okay, that makes sense.
I look at my wife for translation all the time, because somebody, like you said, somebody will start talking, and I'm trying really hard to listen to them, and then I know when my wife is trained well, because I'll look at her and she goes, she said, blah 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 blah. Like, okay, thank you, ma'am.
It's the same thing. I mean, the worst thing in the world is a low talking judge.
Marble mouth.
Because what they're saying kind of matters.
Yeah, and I've had judges say things to me, and I'm like, "You want to what?"
Well, when you have Charlie and I both have substantial hearing deficit, and your brain is, because when you're only catching 2 or 3 words out of 10 that are clear, and your brain is sitting there trying to put all that together, it can get sideways on you in a hurry.
Oh, it does.
And you kind of go, that none of, and I'll even have it with my kids at the house, and it's the world's worst. My mom, my wife, my kids, or whatever. I'll be in there and we'll be talking in one room, and I need to go to another room. And whatever the conversation, if it's something important, I'm gonna sit there and look at them and pay attention. But if it's just kind of a casual conversation, and I turn my back and start walking off, and I hear them in the other room. And you go, God dang. I said, I'm in the other room. Give me a minute. And I walk back in there and look at them.
I ain't talking to you.
No, I can't hear you in the other room. I can hear you making noise, but I can't hear what you're saying.
And I go back around the corner because I'm aggravated. She goes, I was talking to the dog.
There you go. It's the whole thing about, I wasn't. So I'll be sitting in the recliner, and I'll either be watching videos on the phone, or I'll be watching a TV or something. And now I wear little earpieces, the wraparound earpieces that vibrate, the bone mics, and so she can't hear that. If you call me and my wife's in the room, she hears the whole conversation. Everything you say, she can be on the other side of the truck or the other side of the room. She knows everything you said to me on the telephone. So just be warned. I, on the other hand, don't even know she's on the phone, and I wear that, and she can hear it making noise, but I don't think she can understand it. So, but the kids will come in, they'll be having conversations, and even without that on, I can't understand them. I have to get up, turn around. So I would get up out of the recliner. Now, we bought these new chairs that you actually push a button that's electric, so you don't just hop up. You have to make a commitment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get up now, and you push the button, and it goes zzz. Yeah,
you
get up and walk around in another room, and you go, were you talking to me?
Don't they have
No,
those
I was talking to myself, the thing that bothered, I was talking to myself. Well, there was only 2 of us in the room, and you were talking, So I assumed that whatever you were saying was important enough for me to hear. So I got up off my lazy butt, waited for that chair to get me up in an upright position, walked in here, and politely said, honey, what were you talking to me? Because I didn't want to miss what you said. And then what I get back is, I was talking to myself.
Wait a minute, you got a recliner.
I said, was it about something important?
Yeah, recliners, Fred, that have a push button on there that will let the leg tilt you back, tilt your head.
Lumbar control,
this
headrest,
thing-
got a phone charger.
I got one of
in
them
it.
too. I love them.
Got a wireless charger in the
Yep.
center thing there on the lift up thing.
That does not make you feel old.
I don't care. It makes me feel good. So, you know.
I mean, when you got to have a button to push
Well, I
you.
don't have to. You can't buy one.
You can't hardly buy a
get
manual one anymore. If you want a recliner, it's probably going to have one of them motors.
We shopped for 3 years to find one that was fast enough that I didn't feel like I was having to, wait too long.
Oh, when the poor pizza man comes to the house or delivery to the house delivering pizza, and I got my feet propped up, and he rings the doorbell, the dog starts losing her mind, going crazy, whatever, and I'm sitting there going, waiting on that thing, and I'm like, I'll be there in a minute, just hang on.
And I'm perfectly comfortable just flipping pulling a lever and hopping up. That's my last one was that way. We weren't going to get this electric stuff till we finally found one that was the material and color she wanted, and I could get in it, and it would get me up fast enough to. Because here's my problem: is I can't remember nothing. So I get up, I go in the kitchen, I get me something to eat or something to drink or whatever, and I go in, I get settled back in, and I forgot I got the plate of food, but I left the drink, or vice versa, or my phone's in there or something, and I need it. And you call me, and I don't have my phone right next to me. I got to get up. So the phone's ringing, I'm getting up, walking across the room, and then I'll forget something
Yeah,
else.
because you can't get out of that thing when it's tilted back, and it's not a quick process.
No, I mean, because the leg rest is out, and you can't.
Does
just,
it have a button on there that will transfer you to your Walmart scooter so you can go to the front door?
Yeah, and it doesn't. This one don't help you stand up. Daddy had one that would actually lift up and put you on your feet because he couldn't get up and down. I don't want nothing like that.
That's what I thought you had.
The most comfortable recliner I have found is the old school big plush
lazy boy
microfiber lazy boy. The ugly. Yeah,
women
don't
won't
match
let
nothing.
them in the house.
The only colors they come in is that puke blue and that kind of brown, off brownish,
or the pinkish mauve.
Yeah. But they sell them at the furniture store, and you go sit in one. I mean, me and some old boys over there at one, we were shopping for these couches, and I'm sitting over there, and he's over there looking. His wife's over there looking at the electric stuff. My wife's over there looking at electric stuff. I'm looking at him talking about, you got to sit in that one because that's the one you want. She ain't going to let you have it, but that's the one you want. He went and sat in. He goes, yeah, I'm with you. And I said, well, if it's up to me, that's all I'd have. I don't care what it looks like. But they won't make them in colors that match the other stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah.
I feel your pain.
I could. If I showed up at the house with a mauve chair,
microfiber.
A microfiber mauve chair, I'd have a bullet in my head by the time
get the dog blankets and throw there, have a teenage ninja.
We're not quite old enough for the man room yet. For where you're separate because of your sounds and smells. They make you sit in another room when you get a little bit older. We're almost there. We're working on it.
I've got one.
All right.
Maybe by next week. We'll see y'all then.